This is part 2 of my breakdown of Outlander Season 7, Episode 5, titled Singapore. This will have spoilers for the show and the books, so if you are looking to avoid those, please do keep on scrolling. Alright, so my last video ended leaving off talking about Claire and Denny finally meeting together, but before that happens, we have to walk through the storyline with the Hunters and William. So the end of the previous episode, these three decide that they're going to travel together up north. William has his own mission, and the Hunters are heading to the Continental Army to join the fight, and Denny wants to work as a medic there, which is how he ends up with Claire. And once again, this was a strong episode for William. I had said this previously, but I didn't care for William in the earlier books when he is showing up as an 18-year-old boy, so I was worried that I wouldn't care for him in the show, but I actually really enjoy his scenes, and I thought that all of the scenes he's done so far with the Hunters have been great. Along their journey, they come across this man on the side of the road who invites them into his home for the night to take shelter, and while they're sleeping, the husband and wife try to attack them. I thought this scene was very well composed because the first conversation that we see the Hunters and William having has to do with Denny's beliefs as a Quaker to do no harm, and yet William finds it ironic that he is taking the bodies of butchered criminals in order to study them, and how by default he's partaking in that violence even if he's not the one enacting it. So while he wouldn't necessarily be the one to swing the sword or shoot the gun, William ends up being the person who enacts the violence in order to protect and save Denny and Rachel in this scene. And the fallout of that, as we learn, is that this is the first person that William has ever killed. He had always thought that it would be in battle under the guise of this very great, noble cause that he believes he's joining in. And right now, the feelings that he's having wash over him could not feel less noble to him. Later on, when these two part ways, we see him give the money to the Hunters and keep the rosary beads that young Ian had given to him, which belonged to Jamie. And there's a very, very fine, delicate line that this actress has to walk as Rachel, because William ends up having feelings for her. And she likes William, but not romantically. And I think that she does a really good job showing that they definitely have that natural chemistry and communication with one another, but maybe the feelings just aren't there for her on her side. But that doesn't mean she doesn't respect William. It's at that point that we see them join up with Claire and Jamie at Fort Ticonderoga, and young Ian and Rachel see each other again. And you can just feel that there's a difference between her time spent with William versus her time spent with Ian. She's fascinated by him and him by her. And their relationship very closely mirrors Jamie and Claire's to me. So like I said, I'll do a separate video, but come back for part 3.